This is my mastery journey. My first month, we are in mastery, professional development, and leadership. I have some simple goals that I want to have, and that's develop the true skills of mastery, and to get my plans together and my schedule together to be able to finish all my goals on time and to develop good study habits. The tactics I want to use, mainly learning through the book that Green wrote, Mastery, and using LinkedIn's learning as a resource to help develop my schedule tactics, and the different library guides and resource guides that are available. The second month we'll have the executive leadership class. I want to develop my leadership skills. It will be my first leadership class that I've ever taken between my undergrad and my master's program. And I want to maintain the knowledge that I learned in this class and use it both in my everyday life and in my future jobs. And we see my tactics on the side that, using EBSCOhost as a good resource for any scholarly and peer-reviewed information. Team management is going to be month 3. I have some different goals. We all have the bad group work stereotype in our head from college and high school where one person ends up doing all the work, where in the professional world it shouldn't be that way, and I want to learn how to effectively use those skills that I learned in this class in the real world. Business storytelling is kind of interesting. I have a storytelling background from my undergrad with professional communications, kind of learning the pitch and everything in my marketing and nonprofit classes that I've taken. But I want to develop that pitch to the next level and develop my skills as a storyteller to sell a brand. Sports, they say that it sells itself, but in reality, smaller teams and everything, they don't have fans right away. So you have to build that fan base by doing something different, much like the collegiate baseball team here in Savannah, the Savannah Bananas. They've changed the ways that baseball's played. They have different games where the uniforms, they may wear a kilt one game, may wear cowboy hats and cowboy boots for another game. It's truly a fun time when you go to that game, and they've developed their brand as something different than a standard baseball game. And using that, I'm going to develop my following on LinkedIn, connect with more people in the sports world in the coastal Georgia area. It's kind of a sports wasteland here. We only have one semi-professional team, and that is the Bananas. But 4 hours north we have, Atlanta with all their teams, and 2 hours south we have Jacksonville with all their teams. And I heavily want to dig into those sports teams within the 6-hour radius and learn how they, keep their fans, especially with Atlanta sports and all the poor skills that they have, and, how do they still have fans come out to the games. Entertainment business finance will be interesting for me due to the fact that I've never had a finance class in my life. I have a BA, and I've never had to have those business skills or business classes ever, so I want to develop that into a new skill. Digital marketing is my background. I have, I've done digital marketing both in college and in my internship, so this class will be a good refresher course and to develop my skills even deeper. I haven't touched it since I got out of college, but I want to build it up and get back into it. And having the ability to have Adobe Suite and everything like that will make it much easier and much more interesting. Negotiation and deal making. I really want to just learn how to close the deal and to properly negotiate. No more, no less. If I do learn more, that's perfectly fine. But I'm in the world of sales as it is, and sometimes closing that deal can be extremely difficult with a car. I can only imagine closing a deal with a multi-million-dollar athlete. And I'm sure that I was reading in some scholarly articles through EBSCOhost, and they're referenced in the final slide of this, but just talking about brand development and everything on that end. Sports management and operations. This was my background with my internship with the Georgia Swarm. I was on the operations team as well as the equipment management team. So my weeks were filled with getting everyone to make sure that they were able to get from Canada to Atlanta safely with all their gear. And so I know the nightmares that happen with that. With larger teams, it's a little bit easier. You know, the players live in the area most of the time or have their own private planes. But on a small-scale team like a professional lacrosse team, we had to buy the tickets. They flew commercial, and we have had players lose their gear. And so making sure that we're able to have a smooth-running game for both the players and the fans is important to me. Legal issues in sports. With the deal making comes the legal side. And you have players, you see it every day, players get cut for just a laundry list of things. Some lose sports altogether because of it, and some, have to take time off. Look at NASCAR with Kyle Larson. A little bit of a hot topic in NASCAR, and I feel like digging into the legal issues in sports will be very interesting to see how NASCAR handled that and how they grow from it. Sports marketing and sponsorship. Really here, this is what I want to do with my life. And I'm in the sales side as it is with cars, and people say that, sales from one thing to another are the same, but it's not. Selling sponsorship can be difficult. A company may not see that they're going to get any return out of it and pull out of the deal. And next thing you know, you no longer have sponsors for a team, sponsors for a player, anything like that. My business plan development, I'm excited to get into this, put all the skills I learned over the previous, 10 months to work, start developing my skills, developing my knowledge, and put it all together into one. And then putting my business plan together will be very interesting. I have a couple ideas in my head, and I can't wait to get to that point to be able to decide, with all everything that I need to know and put it all together. Some industry leaders that are interesting to me. Dave Portnoy, who is the face of Barstool. He took it from a newsletter to what it is today. And yeah, they get a bad rap sometimes due to, just how outside the box they can be. But he is a true businessman. He's a big investor in both sports gambling, sports betting, and just sports as a whole. Erica is the president of Barstool Sports. She is another person that I would love to get in contact with, even if it's just on a small scale. Paul Rabel is the founder. He was a professional lacrosse player and still is. But he's the founder of the Premier Lacrosse League, and his skills are just insane. He took one set of skills of being a player and the business mindset, put them together and create a league that is truly for the players, better pay, everything like that. Alex Shimke was my boss at the Georgia Swarm. He no longer works for the Georgia Swarm, but he was the director of operations. He now works for a marketing firm based out of Atlanta that deals with the Atlanta Braves. He's already one of my industry leaders and already in my professional learning network. I reach out to him on a regular basis for insight on things. And Jesse Cole's a local of Savannah. He's the owner of the Savannah Bananas, and sets up all, he just has a fantastic product that he puts out. And then the president and co-owner of Georgia Swarm, Andy Arlotta, I worked with quite a bit. And I don't have any contact information for him, but I do have his website, and we are connected on LinkedIn. Clubs and organizations that I'll work closely with. Sigma Alpha Epsilon was a fraternity that I founded on my undergraduate campus at Armstrong State. We have many sports players, sports announcers that are alum, and we have many resources to get in touch with those people. And then the North American Society for Sports Management. I stumbled upon this just with a Google search. It seemed very interesting to me, and I plan on being heavily involved with them. My personal learning network are the Atlanta Braves, the baseball team out of Atlanta. You Are Here is the marketing firm that Alec works for. I like what they put out, and I already spoke about Alex Shimke, and Sean Ferris is the defensive coach for the Georgia Swarm. All the players and coaches all have regular jobs in the NLL, and he is a true just wealth of knowledge for all things sports, sports management, sports marketing, as well as business. I was looking through the different things with the Full Sail community. Maybe kind of difficult saying that I live 5 hours away from Full Sail, but these two clubs were very interesting to me, kind of stood out. I've done a lot of nonprofit work in my day, and collegiate DECA also interests me. These are some different qualities that I find very valuable in a mentor. So month 1, I wanted to make sure I was able to withstand, my full-time job and being a full-time student again. Month 2, I'll be in, executive leadership, and that's very interesting to me. I'm ready to dig in, bring that leadership skills to my current job, and team management will be my month 3. And I feel like that's when we're going to start getting into the nitty-gritty. Storytelling will be 4, followed by finance, and 5. Finance and marketing are going to go hand in hand, because if you don't have the money, you don't have the marketing. If you don't have the marketing, you're not bringing in money. Month 6 will be, and then we have month 7 with deal making, month 8 with operations, and month 9 with legal. Those things all together make one giant thing. And finally, wrapping up, we have sponsorship, plan development, and my final business plan. And with those, I just want to, close everything up strong and walk out of here with a good degree and land a good job. And here are my references.